What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about Bitcoin at the request of Rich P. To be fair, I was going to talk about Bitcoin regardless because I have a lot of explaining to do. As somebody, I forget who it was in the comments, but they're like, "You got egg all over your face." They said that, and I was like, yes, I do, man. I've been calling for probably about a month now, probably a little bit over a month, for the ETFs to get denied. Very adamant about it, like frantically, crucially, just like in your face about it, that I believe the ETFs are going to get denied, man. So much so that I very much didn't even, I was in disbelief again today, man. I was like, did the ETFs actually get approved? Or did the SEC site get hacked? Like, it got shut down or whatever, but it's legitimate, man. It is legitimate, and here we are in historic times. We have Bitcoin spot ETFs, plural, multiple ETFs. And I'm very scared for what that means for Bitcoin. I know a lot of people aren't too worried about it. They're very excited. The price hasn't dropped yet, but it hasn't pumped yet either. To be completely fair, the ETFs got approved, but they have yet to launch. We are seeing the first ETFs being available for the public to trade tomorrow. So we might get that sell the news event tomorrow. Maybe in the beginning of the day we see an initial pump up. We see a quick little bit of excitement. It could take us to new highs that we haven't seen like in the past couple weeks, right? Really in the past like couple years, but maybe not that much higher. It might be like a quick little pump as we've been experiencing, and then a dump afterwards. I very much am still expecting a sell the news event to happen. No, it has not taken place yet. But again, the approval happened, but the ETFs themselves have not launched yet. And I know. See, the whole reason. And I was talking to somebody about this on the YouTube comments because they were with me on this kind of a little bit, and I can have people who agree with me, and we can both be wrong. I've been wrong before, clearly. I'll be wrong again. I've been right before. I'll be right again. It's just how it works, man. But we were talking about how the whole hype around the ETFs is that institutional money is going to come in. This is going to be a vehicle, a highway, a road for the institutional money to just open the floodgates and let their money come in. Institutional money, they're a lot less risky than most of us are, especially in crypto, right? Do you think they're going to put their money in up here, or would they wait patiently for the price to drop and then put their money in? I think we know the answer to that question, right? 60 something, I think it was 67, I forget what the percentage was, but over 60% of the financial advisors in the United States were saying that the ETF for Bitcoin the ETFs would not get approved, right? And just because they've gotten approved, I'm sure they're not changing their mind and being like, oh man, we got to get some Bitcoin. I'm sure they're still sitting on their hands and waiting for this thing to come down. Because again, if we zoom out, we look at this thing here, it's been moving up. It hasn't had a sizable pullback at all since September of this year, right? Or September of last year. September, October, November, December, January. That's about 4 months of just continual movement up without really any sizable pullback at all. From top, that's not it, but from top, he's doing his thing back there. Top to bottom, we've moved back 10.7%. And for Bitcoin, that's really not much, man. We know how this thing likes to swing, and if we look at the trajectory overall, seeing a higher low come in, kind of meeting this path here, right? Something like, it's not the straightest line. I tried to make it straight. Maybe I can just use a straight line. Something to come down to like the low 30,000s, mid 30,000s, somewhere around this previous area of resistance, previous area of support. That would be the area that a lot of these bigger players might want to get in, right? That'd be mine and some others' interpretations. Everything that I've said, and I stand by the fact that I was wrong. I absolutely was wrong. I called for the ETFs to get denied. I was in your face about it, man. I'm a TA guy. Okay, I got the media wrong. It hurts my pride a little bit, but I stand by my TA, man. I really do, because we have been in the overbought zone for 11 weeks. Generally speaking, statistically speaking, for Bitcoin, it's not common to continue past that. It doesn't happen. We've had it twice where we've continued past that, right? Here's one of them right here, right? And I've gone over this the last like 3 days in a row now, so you should be firmly in your mind. But we had 18 weeks of being in the overbought zone. We had another time that was also exactly 18 weeks of being in the overbought zone, and both of those times happened the year of the halving after halving. We're in the year of the halving, but we're before the halving. I do not think that we're going to see 18 weeks starting now, right? And both of those times, the 18-week periods that we started moving up here, you know what? Let's go on the index just so I can show you. Obviously, toward the end of the bull cycle, not the absolute end, I suppose more in the middle. This is the end here. There's a lot of people out there, man, that want to just like pretend for the sake of being right. They want to say that was the end of the bull market. No, this was the end of the bull market, right? This was the end of the bull market, the beginning of the bear market, right? This was not, the bear market didn't start here, ergo the bull market didn't start here. You could argue that it was the end of the bull market, the beginning of a crab market, okay, but to me, the all-time high is where the ending of the bull market started. But you know, whatever. We can all have our own opinions, agree to disagree. But 18 weeks in a row in the midst of the bull market, right? Not in the beginning, but in the midst of it, after the halving. The last time that we saw something like that was all the way back here, right? And again, in the midst of the bull market. The halving happened in November of 2012, which would have been here. It was like the very end of November, so it was right here. This 18-week period happened after that, okay? Or actually like right around it even. Because you were like, actually technically, yeah, you weren't even in the overbought zone. You were close, but not even there. And you saw this phenomenal move up, right? Things look different than they do right here, right? They look different, right? They look more kind of like this, right? They look more kind of like this or like this stuff, right? Things look different now than they did whenever we were just moving straight up here, you know? We've got this, it is moving up, don't get me wrong, we're moving up a decent bit, but it's not the same kind of trajectory. We're a little bit more tame than we are now. Not so tame, though, that we're not evasive from a pullback, and I do think we're going to see a pullback. It's very common for Bitcoin, and I'm not going to go through and measure, but it's very common for Bitcoin to pull back anywhere from like 30 to 40% in bull markets, right? And here we are from top to bottom, and the guys, the institutional money, they might not be involved in crypto, and there are a lot of institutional players that are involved in crypto, but they might not be involved in crypto with these ETFs yet, you know, and the ETFs might provide a highway for them to get on, whatever, but they're not dumb. They know how this stuff works. They have people that analyze charts too, and they're going to see that Bitcoin normally pulls back 30 to 45%. Well, a 30% pullback from here would take us all the way down to 33K. That's a 31% pullback technically. So let's be a little bit more fair, closer there. 33.7K, 33.6K. Okay, and then a 40% pullback could take us all the way back down to about 29K. And I personally don't think that that's going to happen. I'm not even actually personally expecting that we see a 30% pullback, though I do accept it as a possibility. I'm thinking what we see more is going to be, or no, I do think that we see a 30. I know, I'm sorry, man, I just stumbled on my words. I do think that we see potentially a 30% pullback, but at least something that would take us to 36K, which would be about a 25% pullback. Maybe now that we have institutional highways, on-ramps available at a spot price, maybe we do see a more moderate pullback than what we normally see, which again is 30 to 40%. Maybe we see a 25% pullback this time. That wouldn't be too crazy at all, but nonetheless a pullback. I do very much think that we're going to see this move coming, and if tomorrow we move up for a little bit, if over the next couple weeks we move up a little bit, okay, that can happen. Sometimes sell the news events lag, but nonetheless, I very much believe that we're going to see prices below 35K in the coming weeks, in the coming months. And I don't think that we're going to get down there. It's going to happen swift, and then we're bouncing. I don't think it's going to be like that. I think it's going to take some time. And this is where I'm going to get into the part that is not exciting. If you were here to see how I would handle being wrong, see my pride being hurt, well, you've got that part of the video out of the way. Now we're going to get into the stuff that you probably don't want to see. So talking about uranium. URA. This was the first uranium ETF, or one of the first uranium ETFs that was approved. Let's actually look it up so that I know. Let's see. First U.S. uranium ETF. Yeah, listing. Sure. Yeah, list. No. Approved. Yeah, sure. Uranium miners, U.S. rich. I don't know. This was back. When was this? It should give me a date. There we go. No. Hold up now. ETF launches. Okay. May 5th. No, this isn't what I was thinking, man. I know it's Ura. I'm getting off track here, but I know it is URA. Anyways, man. First, one of the first, if not the first, let me look it up. Let me look it up one more time. Let me try this again, man. What was the first uranium ETF in the U.S.? News. 1 month ago. That's not it. Man, I was looking this up earlier. Why is it so hard to find now? I want to say, though, it was in November of, maybe it was 2006. Let's look up Ura and just see real quick. Because I remember looking at it earlier. Okay, maybe it wasn't 2006. Maybe it was 2010. I got the November part right. Yeah, November. You moved up for a little bit. You moved up for 1, 2, 3 months. You moved up afterwards, but then you saw a massive onslaught to the downside. Okay, ETF approval, not at the high, but very near the high, right? And if we got like uranium, I don't know. Could we do uranium USD? Is that uranium? I don't know, man. There's got to be some kind of something. I don't know, man. Getting off the rails here, but nonetheless, like uranium took a dump shortly after this ETF here got approved, and this is Global X Uranium ETF ARCA. Took a dump, took a huge dump, not at the top, but very near the top. In stock terms, 3 months ain't nothing, right? 3 months in stocks is like 3 weeks in crypto. And maybe that's not true, but maybe like a month in crypto, Gold itself, we go to gold, getting back on it. Actually, we got gold over here. The first gold ETF in US, getting off. Spider Gold shares, November 18th, 2004. I know I made another video about this recently, but 2004, Spider Gold shares. Gold, man, by the way, totally different than Bitcoin, right? You can see that gold does not have 4-year cycles. It just moved up in a straight line from basically 2001 until 2011. We don't do that with Bitcoin, man. We have a lot more cyclical behavior. And yes, there were ups and downs in between, but more or less just in a straight trajectory. But gold, November 18th, 2004. So 2004 here, November 18th would have been, oh, I forgot I'm on the monthly. Right here this month, look at what happened with gold, right? ETF got approved this month. Next month we topped out and we started moving down. We were moving sideways, essentially, we didn't break out for 9 months. 9 months, okay? Keep this in mind. The uranium one was abysmal. This one's a little bit more hopeful. Look, you continue to go up afterwards, but 9 months, and it's a different beast than Bitcoin. It doesn't have the 4-year cycles. People are saying 4-year cycles are irrelevant, but they're still calling for the top nonetheless in 2025, whatever. Late 2025, right? A lot of people are. Some people are even calling for it to be at the end of 2024. The reason why this isn't exciting, in my opinion, is that if this was gold, 9 months from now will be the end of 2024. That's going to be October, right? That's not exciting. Or yeah, that would be October. That's really not exciting. It went stagnant, right? The uranium one went down, gold one went sideways. Let's look at silver. So 9 months on gold there. I didn't even measure the uranium one because I didn't care. Why can't I find the price on uranium? I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something, man. When did the first silver ETF in the U.S. come out? iShares Silver Trust was launched in April of 2006. April 2006. Okay. Here we are, April, right here. And then again, the next month we found the high and we consolidated for a while. Then we went up and we actually even dropped ass a lot more, but we didn't break out of this range for a little while. How long did it take us? Top to where we didn't break out, but let's call it there, where we found our low, and then we had a move that was taking us up. Technically we broke out on the 17th month, but 16 months. That's a year and 4 months. That would take us in the middle of 2025 before we started to break out again, that we're going to consolidate for Bitcoin. If we were to see the same price action that we saw with the gold ETFs, the first U.S. approved gold ETFs, the first U.S. approved silver ETFs, and I really hope we don't see, I don't think we're going to see what we saw with the first U.S. uranium ETFs. And they all have their reasons for performing the way they do. I'm sure there were news events, world events going on that dictated it. But nonetheless, it's kind of a coincidence, right? That as soon as these financial on-ramps, these ETFs become available, that things stop being productive. They're productive as hell before. If you look at all of them before, they're productive as hell. But for some reason, right when these ETFs, it's almost like these financial institutions, the players that are putting these out, they know when to have them be put out. It's almost like they know something, right? Like they're smart. They understand how money works and how like tops work in markets and stuff like that. I wonder, I don't even know, man. I haven't even looked at this, but copper, can we do copper? Is that even, do we have that? I don't know. Is there something else that we can look up as far as ETFs go? I'm losing momentum here, man. It's getting late. I don't know. Can I not look up copper? Is there maybe a steel ETF? Are there? Let's see. Hold on. I'm gonna look up copper ETF first, if that's even a thing, man. I'm in US. JP Morgan Copper ETF first in US gets green light December 17th, 2012. Okay, well, let's look at that. What was it? December 17th, 2012. So this time we weren't going up into it, we actually were going down into it. But December whatever 2012 was right here, right? And then again, 2 months later, you had your high. You didn't really move up too much higher, but then you resumed some downside. And I don't think that we're going to see this kind of same thing with Bitcoin. At least I hope not. Different circumstances, they're all different. Bitcoin in itself is different. The one thing that gives me hope that Bitcoin might not see this extended, like 3 quarters or more of a year time frame where we're just stagnant and boring, and then we get to the end of when the cycle is supposed to be and we don't do anything because these ETFs are approved. The only thing that gives me hope is that Bitcoin is open 24/7. 24/7. It moves faster, so maybe its correctional phase, maybe its point of stagnation will be substantially lessened than that. Because even though stocks are open 5 days a week, they're not open 24 hours during those 5 days. Bitcoin is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, rain or shine, holidays, whatever, man. It's open. The world could end. Bitcoin is still running. It's doing its thing. Unless like literally nobody has a computer to operate the blockchain, you know, or to participate in being a server, a miner in the blockchains, you know. But I digress. What I'm really trying to say is, man, is that ETFs, look them up. Find me one that doesn't, at least one that's been approved by the United States of America, that doesn't imply some more or less immediate downside. And in stocks, again, a couple months, a few months, that's pretty immediate. Within a quarter of a year, that's still pretty immediate. I don't think that Bitcoin is going to see downside a quarter of a year from now. I think it's going to be like soon, very, very soon. So I know that this video has been long. I know that I got a little bit off track there. I've been, you know, I'm looking things up as I'm going through, you know, finding things out myself that I haven't like actually looked up. I didn't prepare this before. I had an idea of what I wanted to say, but nonetheless, what I'm trying to say is, guys, is again, I'm very concerned about what the months to come are going to bring for Bitcoin. My only hope is that, yes, Bitcoin is different, right? All these ETFs have dealt with different things. Precious metals is basically what we went over. I guess uranium's not a precious metal, but you know, Bitcoin is a different thing. It's a precious crypto. But the main that doesn't do it for me. The thing that does it for me is it's open 24/7. That's the main hope that I have. Is that perhaps because it runs all day, every day, it's going to move faster. So this consolidation can take less time. Perhaps because it is a source of currency that is borderless, permissionless, trustless, decentralized, maybe it does see different results. at least as far as like the grand scheme of things does. But I don't think that it's going to see different results, at least as far as the initial reaction goes. I do think that we're going to see this thing come down. And I don't think that we're going to come all the way down, right? Gold didn't move down a lot. It moved down a little bit, and then it moved sideways for a while, right? I kind of expect that that's what's going to happen with Bitcoin, but hopefully not for 9 months. But all that to say, man, all that long stuff to say, back to the main point here, is that right now on a monthly basis, we're right at the overbought zone. Okay, when we rejected it, let's see, we're on Coinbase. Whatever, we'll just keep it on Coinbase. When we rejected this overbought zone, we were close to it, but didn't quite touch it in 2019, and that sent us in a downward spiral. Yes, we had coronavirus. Why is my battery running low? Is this? Oh, there we go. Now we're good. I didn't have my power source turned on. Yes, we had coronavirus going on, but corona wasn't a thing. Like, we didn't have the government shutdown until April, or until March. Yeah, it was St. Patty's Day, I remember. Until then. So we were moving down for quite some time. We didn't really bottom out for 9 months, okay? That was after this rejection here, okay? We rejected up here, right here, and that's what started the last bear market. If we get a red month with some serious like downside either this month or next month, and we reject this area, that could spell stagnation. At the very best, stagnation for a little bit of time, right? Because both times before where we saw this kind of happen, we moved down top to bottom 72%. Coronavirus, so probably don't take that into account. And then from here, top to bottom, we moved down 77%. They're actually pretty similar. Coronavirus be damned, man. But let's look at, I'm actually kind of curious now. Let's look at the index. I really hope I'm wrong, man. I'm not trying to be like some doom and gloomer. I'm spitting the facts here. I'm spitting the truth, what I see in the charts, what's happened. I got a little bit of hope now looking at this because, look, rejected the overbought zone a little bit, and hey, you didn't, you moved sideways, you consolidated for a little bit, sure. You know, you move down from top to bottom, you move down 40%. Like I was saying, a 30 to 40% correction is normal in bull markets, right? Kind of in the beginning of the bull market. The halving didn't happen until July of 2016, so not necessarily the same time frame, but close enough to where we're at now. And you really, let's see, from top to where you like started to break out again, it was only like 5 months. This is kind of what I'm hoping for. Something like this. This is what I'm hoping for. But nonetheless, we didn't just go off to the races, man. And we didn't really, I don't know, I wouldn't consider that I don't know. I guess that is like the same thing. But you rejected, but you didn't go lower. Like, you kind of rejected the overbought zone, then you rejecting it. So also like early times, things are a bit different. I don't know. You still move down a little bit, but not much, huh? Like top to bottom, 26%, whatever. Which again, a 25% drop from here would take us to about 33K? 36K, I think. I don't know, man. This video's gone on longer than I meant for it to. I felt like it started off with like a lot of momentum, and I've just been dying off because I am tired, man. 35.6K if we were to see a 25, or about 36K if we were to see a 25% correction. Yeah, just under 36K. I do expect we're going to see prices to go lower. Yes, my pride hurts, you guys. Yes, it hurts a little bit, or a little bit more than I'm pretending it does. It's hurting a little bit because of these ETFs getting approved. I definitely thought they were going to get denied. But the TA still stands, man. Everything that we've gone over does not indicate good things. And we haven't even gone over the daily stuff yet. Again, 11 weeks here, you can go back and measure it yourself. Go back and measure any time that we've been longer than 11 weeks. It was only those 2 times where we had 18 weeks to the upside after the halving. We're not in that same circumstance right now at all. And we have a very serious sell the news event. Not only that, but right here, rejected the overbought zone. Rejected it. That's not a good look, man. It really is not a good look at all. And to make things like a little bit, I don't know, to make things better, to be fair, you're moving up with increasing volume. That does look nice. Not going to lie. That's not a bad. This is on the index, though. I feel like the volume there can lie. No, that's nice. You know, you do have like bearish divergence on your daily here, right? And it got, you moved down a little bit, but I wouldn't say that suffices, man. Your divergence formed all the way down here. and now you're rejecting the overbought zone with higher prices. Arguably, this divergence is still going on. I don't know. It looks like what we did was we had this uptrend in the RSI. We broke out of it. We're consolidating. We're battling the ultimate repercussions that we're going to see. And I just, I've been wrong about the ETFs. I've been wrong about the media. I don't care as much as I do about the price. So let's just let time do its thing. Let's see what happens. If it's at the risk of me losing even more credibility with my price predictions, so be it. Can't be right all the time. Been wrong before. I'll be wrong again, obviously. Been right before, I'll be right again. Let's see if this is one of those times. But that's all I got for you guys. If you liked the video, leave a thumbs up. If you would like to subscribe, please do. I'm not saying throughout any of this that I'm expecting that we're going to be in a no-go for the bull market. I very much still believe in my heart that we are going to go in for the bull market, but this scares me. It does worry me. A lot of people are excited about the ETFs, and I'm like, why? Why are you excited? Literally, the historical data, all the references that you can find would tell you that you should not be excited at all. But maybe because this is Bitcoin, maybe it is different. Maybe the initial reaction will be the same, but maybe it'll be a shorter amount of time. It is a different beast in its own way. We are in that period of the bull cycle where things are very strong. We're about to have the halving, which is one of the most bullish events for Bitcoin in itself. People are discrediting the halving, man. I don't get it. It's like, bro, basic economics, supply and demand. You're going to cut the supply in half. If demand stays the same but the supply gets cut in half, that equals price goes up. Like, it's basic fundamentals of economics. So I don't see a scenario where we don't have a positive bull market, but I am a bit curious. I'm a bit worried for the months to come just because of what I know ETFs in the U.S. being approved, being listed, has done to any commodity that we've seen going over the charts here. And we could have gone over more. Didn't go over steel, didn't go over like some other stuff, sure, but again, I feel like I'm running out of steam. So with that, I leave you. Hit that like button, subscribe to see more. And I stand by what I said before when I thought the ETFs were going to get denied. Don't invest. Not financial advice, but it should be. It's not a good time to get in the markets. It really is not. I don't think the institutions are getting in right now. That's the smart money. Do what they do. That's all I got to say. Take care. Bye-bye.